Hello, welcome back to the ministry. And today we are talking about understanding one of the biggest fights that you will ever face is the one against the anti version of yourself. What? Last night I was watching the TV show Equalizer, right? And they were having a premiere. And in me watching that, you saw the main character of that show who had a big, good heart that she didn't even want to see somebody that had tried to kill her best friends, kill all of these individuals. She's still standing there saying, there's still something worth this person that is worthy of saving. How many of you do that? How many of you do that? Not a lot of people would say that they can do that or would do that. Not a lot of people will sit there and say that they would be willing to stand in a gap to that element. I'm gonna use this because y'all like talking about the counterfeit so much. What if you were supposed to pray for that person and make sure that that person didn't end up going to hell for what they was doing to y'all relationship? Because you have to have the wisdom and the understanding that that human being that is being used by the devil, because that's what's happening. They have been infiltrated by a bunch of spirits, just like Legion in the scripture in the Gadarenes was possessed with a bunch of spirits. How many of y'all would pray for that person? How many of y'all will sit down and actually put that person on your prayer list that has been viciously trying to kill you? I never forget, there was a scene in one of my shows when I was growing up that this woman had gone through a level of trauma, and because of it, she was trying to steal everybody's stuff. She was trying to steal their life. She was trying to steal all this type of stuff from them because she wasn't satisfied with her own self. But I remember in this crossover episode, she had come to a point, it was just her and the other one who I calls Kingdom Spouse. And he was standing there and it started to rain. And she was saying, she started talking to herself. She started saying, I didn't deserve this. I don't this. I don't that. And he's like, what are you talking about? The whole time, for 2 years, he'd been trying to get her to admit that she was willing to let that situation go. And in this moment, she finally had a breakthrough where she started hitting his chest as hard as she could, saying, I didn't deserve that. I this, I that. Why? Because she was having a breakthrough from her own childhood trauma. And she started to break down and cry and was beating him on the chest as hard as she could beat him on the chest, as hard as she could beat him on the chest. Now this is the counterfeit. Because she didn't want to admit the subconscious issue that she was having, and right then she was having a breakthrough on it. How many of y'all would actually pray for that person? The same person that would kiss you on the cheek and identify you so they could kill you. But how many of you would pray for that individual? How many of you will stand up when this counterfeit is causing all you that daggone trouble And you would actually pray for their heart and their spirit. Because let me raise my hand and be the one to tell you I prayed for them. I prayed they renounced and denounced. I prayed they came out of alignment and agreement. I prayed that if they finally came out of agreement with what it was that belonged to me, that they would go through their road to Damascus and go through their process so that they can meet the one that was better for them. Because guess what? The one that they was sitting up there trying to hold on to that belonged to me, guess what? If the Lord was giving me who I was getting, I guarantee you, if they gave their life over to God, truly, 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 that he would have showed them that the man that that he was willing to give them was going to be 10 times better for them and to them than the one that they was trying to hold on to. Because that person was better for me, not them. You understand? But in Equalizer last night, she was talking about, I'm trying to save this woman's soul. I'm trying to make sure that she ain't going to be able to handle that, where they're taking her. But at the same time, some of these people, they just not going to change. The last scene of the episode, she's in the rehabilitation van being taken to where they're going to rehabilitate her, and she busts loose. Why? Because she was going to be the antithesis to her. The counterfeit to you is always your antithesis. Meaning, they ain't never going to be good. Because technically it would never work out right if they turned good on you. Why? Because you're supposed to be the good one. In the scenario, it's always good and evil. You don't see it say good and good. But we as children of God, because we know God don't never really want to destroy somebody's life, we're going to keep praying that they make that change. You want to get to the top and see everybody there. You want to get to the top. I will always pray for the counterfeit that they will be able to get the same thing. But see, they got to be willing to go through the process. And a lot of them just aren't. They ain't going to go through the process you went through. That's what makes y'all different. But in that, they try to turn you. I was listening to a video by one of the influencers I followed the other day, and she was talking about the fact that you're different. And because you're different, people gonna hate on you. And because of that, you're gonna come to a point in time that you're gonna be tested. And in that test, your heart can't change because that's what the enemy wants. I remember a particular episode I was watching of my show when I was growing up, that what the enemy was doing was through this individual that was the counterfeit version of this person, was trying to subtly, over time, convert her into somebody coming into agreement with lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, and pride of life. This is what your enemies will do to you. I've said it over and over again. They will always try to get you to conform to their evil. And because you try and be good and be like, I can change them, fix it all, you will be like, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to even fix the counterfeit. And it's like, the counterfeit don't want to be fixed. I was listening to a minister at the end of January last year, and she was making the point of saying they ain't never going to change. They're not going to change. God's going to have to deal with them. They're not going to change. You may have the best intentions at heart. You may be praying for these individuals. You may be hoping that they're going to change. They are not going to change. I can't tell you how many times I sat in my bathroom praying for the counterfeit. Hear me when I'm telling you. I prayed for the counterfeit. I'm like, God, can you show her what you're going to do to her if she don't stop? Stop. Because the more that you do this, the more that's going to heap up against you in the courts of heaven against you. And when God yoke you up, what he decides to do with you at that point, I can't help you. And it's funny because the other day I was listening to the Bible, and on two separate occasions I was reading Obadiah 1, and then when I was listening to the Bible, I think that was Jeremiah. I'm not sure because I just was listening to the audio Bible on Bible radio, and it said this twice. I am no longer going to listen to your prayers in relation to this subject. And it came up twice. I was like, ooh, who is this? Who's the person that they ain't listening to in relation to the subject? Who this? Because sometimes we'll be sitting there like, I want to save them. I want them to find Jesus too. I want us all to have. Maybe it'll become a point that I'll get my kingdom spouse and they'll turn around and get theirs. They don't want their own kingdom spouse. They want yours. So they would rather turn you into them so that they can say, she ain't nothing, no way. She ain't nobody neither. She ain't nobody. She ain't as good as you said she was. She ain't. To make themselves feel better. When you sitting up there on your face on the floor some nights praying over their life that they get it together so that God don't have to snatch they wig off. Because he about ready to do it. But people turn around and get angry at you. Because you're praying for them. They'll turn around and now try to get you to succumb to their evil by luring you into the lusts of their flesh and the lusts of their eyes and the pride of their life. Coming back to what I was saying about that other television show, the one that I watched when I was growing up, the counterfeit to the antithesis of the main character, what she did, and I recognized it later on, is what she did was she first started to get her to come out of her friend group. Number one, removing you from the people that give you sound advice. This happens also in abusive scenarios where they will remove you from your friend group, your family group, the people that were protecting you. 2, now they're going to try to get you to come into agreement with doing something that's wrong. Okay? Skipping. She skipped class. So that was a fleshly thing. That was a I'm going to do what I want to do type of thing. I can rebel because I can rebel type thing. Trying to get you to come into alignment with rebellion. And the same thing is, I believe, what is happening in the movie Metacopla. The person is very straight-laced to the point, so on and so forth, and then she starts coming out of her shell and coming into agreement with all of these ungodly behaviors. Then, number 2, she goes and she steals something. Still lust of the flesh. But actually, that was lust of the eye because she stole something she wanted. And matter of factly, she made her verbally come into agreement with what it was because she told her, want, take, have. And so they started to speak out their mouth, want this, take this, have this. Be careful of what other people are starting to get you to say and come into agreement. And you verbally coming into agreement, meaning you came into covenant with that thing. Because they had to get you in agreement with rebellion. Then they ended up going to the club and dancing and all that, and they dancing and all that craziness. And her boyfriend showed up and literally was like, what you doing over here? Why are you out here acting? This ain't even you, girl. What's up? What the enemy will do is, in a weak moment when you tired of being the one that carries the weight of the crown that you hold, he'll come in and start to say, you don't have to do that. Come over here, hang out with us. Come on, let's just go have drinks a little bit. You Christian, but you ain't gotta be like that. Start projecting on you. Oh, you ain't no fun. No, I gotta stay in my word. I gotta stay in my Bible. I can't go to a party like that. Oh, you want to spend some time with your spouse? You gonna dance? You gonna do this? You gonna you blah blah blah. Try to get you come into agreement with that. Come into agreement with that. When you sitting up there like, and blah 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 blah. No 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 no. No 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 no. Understand what you coming into agreement with and back out. I'm being 100% serious. Because when you recognize it, because that's what the enemy wants. There's a scripture in the Bible between Numbers 22 and 24 that literally talks about curse causeless can't stand. But most importantly, you cannot curse what God has blessed unless what you are cursing comes out of agreement with God's blessing. This is what the enemy wants. You are so close to the manifestation of your breakthrough, you can taste it. But if you come out of agreement with it right now and get caught up in foolery, lust of the mind, lust of the body, lust of the flesh, pride of life, getting caught up in glittery things, which you can put your hands to, opportunities that look way too good to be true, which is pride of life. Lust of the eye, it looks good, but it's not good for you. The enemy's going to catch you on that. It's a technicality. Because remember, he's in the judgment seat right now. I believe it's Zechariah 3, where the devil came forth before the courts of heaven and brought all these charges against Joshua. That's what he's doing right now to you. He's doing a Job chapter 1 or 2, where Job was prowling around looking for whom he can devour. He trying to see what's her weaknesses. What's their weaknesses? I need to be able to test this individual. I need to be able to. My usual route ain't working. Yeah, because the enemy know if I can get you right now. Remember, Jesus was about to go into his ministry. He was just coming out of that 40 days when the real test came. Don't get caught right here. Don't get stuck right here. Please. I hope this blessed you, because I needed you to get that, because you're that close. I'm serious. You're that close. So until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Until then.